know if we
Sure
good.
didn't,
I
but
think
we got to
good.
roll.
I'm pretty sure we good because we already live.
Yeah, we live. Let's
We
do it.
already there.
There you go.
Let us know what we sound like when we get a chance.
Sound
Yes,
good.
Mic check. You got your headphones on for
Yeah,
that.
I'm good.
Mic
Y'all
check.
good.
1,
Y'all are
2.
good.
Oh yeah, EG ain't say nothing yet.
Mic check, 1, 2.
Coach,
What's going on over there?
I don't know. I figured that would already be done since
I
being
did,
as if
but it came on.
this ain't the first time we done been here, nor the second, nor the third. I would think just on Tuesday before I got out my car, I just
He acting strange already. I
know
see
what, when they
why. I see why.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
listen, man. I got
When the cameras come up, you become a totally different dude.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
listen.
She got you tamed, brother.
Wow.
You tamed like you purring like a kitten tonight. Listen,
that was crazy though.
Mhm.
Because he was like a big little teddy bear like 2 seconds before.
Oh, tell it. Let people know.
man. What's up, good people? We back here today on the Tangy Tea of Life. It's Tuesday. We appreciate everybody watching us on Facebook and YouTube. I'm excited tonight. I get to confess my love to my new boo tonight.
Oh my
Your
God.
new boo.
Yeah,
Okay.
my new boo. I got a new
For
boo.
5 minutes, y'all.
Got his ass tamed.
And
He's
we
purring
already
like a
3.5
kitten in here tonight.
in. We'll be divorced in about 2 minutes.
I don't know now. I got a couple tricks up my sleeve tonight, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and let Veronica run through the introductions. And then I want to say something right after that.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yes. Welcome, guys, to the Tangy Tea of Life. This is where we talk about any and everything. I am your host, Veronica, back with you on this Tuesday night. I don't know who this guy is tonight.
I'm assistant coach. Call me assistant coach all night tonight. Assistant coach. Yeah, I'm gonna be the assistant coach tonight. I'm here to assist coach, and I'm gonna make sure the team is doing what they supposed to be doing tonight. And if anybody jump on coach, I'm gonna be the first to swing.
You gonna fight yourself.
I'm gonna be the first to swing.
Oh, gosh.
Let's go.
Brother Fatine, all the way from WBLS's radio. Oh, WBLS's radio station is back with us tonight.
Good to be here. Good to be here. Last time when we had this special guest that you're going to introduce, I was in New York doing some work, but I'm glad to be in the house with our special guest.
That's what's up.
Shouts out, Jill. Shouts out.
Shouts out to Sade.
Special guest, EG is back with us. Coach.
Hello. Coach E.G. here.
Welcome back, my friend, for many, many years.
Wait, many years. We in the decades now.
I ain't kidding. We out. Excuse us?
Did I say something?
I was just wondering.
You hearing him
thought I
purr.
saw your face.
That's all. He's purring like a kitten tonight. That's all. You hearing him purr.
Y'all leave Vic alone.
Leave it on wide shot for a second. I got something for you, coach. I got you a little gift.
Oh, no. What the hell?
I got my legs out.
What?
Oh, my God. She slayed it. Coach, you really slayed his ass. You got
You gotta
him.
pull your gifts out.
I am not.
Oh my God.
He bought you a rose?
I can only.
Did he buy you a rose?
Do y'all know what's in here?
Did he buy you a rose?
Okay.
No, I did not buy a rose. I
Oh,
wouldn't do it
okay.
like that.
So, you know what? I don't. This is some bipolar.
Can you please pull out the gifts?
I just said he's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This bag is that. Okay, so
Oh gosh.
That's my that's my favorite.
This is a great bottle of wine.
That's my favorite.
This is the good stuff.
Okay. All right. Uh-oh.
Okay, wait a minute.
I know that his gifts.
And Coach's last nerve got me a little candle. Oh,
Okay.
you know what? I hope some of my clients are watching because I'm a lot. If you see me like this when we're on Zoom, one of my clients, any of y'all, that means you getting on my last damn nerve.
Can I smell it?
It smells good too. And you know me, that's my vibe. It's not fruity. It's a clean linen scent.
Oh, yeah, that smells
that's
nice.
my vibe. Okay, y'all ready for the bullshit?
What do you mean?
Okay, so we got the nice
it's-
bottle of wine. We have the great candle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a vibe. Let's see.
Oh, boy.
I don't know what the hell we're going to do with some damn baby wipes.
Them ain't baby wipes.
Well, cottonelle white.
Hot nail wipes.
You can put them in your bathroom for people come over, cause
Okay.
you know.
I'm going to assume this for the wipe up.
Yeah.
Okay. But if this was for the wipe up, he just ruined the mood. Y'all ready for this? Y'all ready? This y'all do.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
You done changed his ass. That's the problem.
We're going with some cornstarch.
Oh.
You can put a.
Corn.
And some off-brand coffee creamer. I don't even drink coffee, but can I at least get Cremora? Some off-brand coffee cream. I ain't finished, y'all. Hold on.
Oh, boy.
A goddamn can of tomatoes.
What is
Stewed.
going on here?
Stewed tomatoes.
What?
Those are stewed tomatoes.
want a
I
new
told you he was
boyfriend.
so
This one don't do it.
country.
Wait a minute, and we got one more. This ain't country, this ignorant. We got one more. Y'all ain't ready for this last.
Oh, let me guess. Roman noodles.
No, I wish.
Relish. Relish.
You can relish in your gifts. Relish in our love for each other. Relish the fact that I've changed.
E.G., you
I've
see why he
changed.
don't have a woman. You see what I'm saying? You see why he ain't got no woman, right?
I'm gonna help you. I'm gonna help.
Oh, God.
So let me say this,
I appreciate.
Thank you. You should appreciate all gifts.
I appreciate.
Okay then.
I think.
Yeah, see everybody, it is what it is,
I'm sure for you, there somehow all of this ties together.
Yeah, got it.
I'm not sure how. I don't think that I want to know how, but somehow
5 love
the
language.
relish and the wine go together. Somehow with the stewed tomatoes.
Oh,
But
boy.
thank you, my love.
David Wright says, I'm going to get in the comments, this is the same guy who passed out ramen noodles for Halloween.
Right.
But my kids loved it, though.
So let me say this, we
Thank you, baby.
oh, of course. We the ramen noodle thing is the one reason why I did that is because I don't buy candy for my children. Sugar is horrible for people's teeth. And kids like ramen noodles. Why not have the best of both worlds? As an adult, we tend to project things on our children and we buy our kids candy for Halloween, but kids don't like shit like that. They don't.
Well, can I say something?
What's that?
This bag is the equivalent. Y'all remember when you were in elementary school, right? And the little girl you liked,
Yeah.
but you pretended you didn't like her, so you would hit her or
Exactly.
push her or
Exactly.
whatever.
So that's just
and then that's what this bag
I
is,
know what it
right?
is.
So the wine and the candle is the I like you part, right? But the stewed tomatoes and the relish.
You done
that's
got
the
this
pushing
man
me.
messed up. He done walked in
I
the door
got it.
backwards tonight. You done got him messed up. He is totally floored.
Thank
Ooh.
you, Vic.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, love. That's my fellow Aries, so we're gonna make this work.
Okay. We're
Okay.
gonna make it work.
He's trying to butter you up. He didn't give you no butter. He just don't want you going in. That's probably.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But the question is,
But that cheap
you got for
creamer, I don't know what I'm gonna do with
I
that.
can't deal with that.
I don't even drink coffee,
Me neither.
but name brand would have went along.
That exactly. That's what I'm talking
Name
about. A
brand
little
was
coffee
only
made or
50
something.
more.
Come on. But, but remember,
You can give that to somebody else.
he don't go to shopping to Walmart with a woman, so he don't have that touch. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
See.
I don't need to go shopping to Walmart. I did my gifts did exactly what they were supposed to do.
This
They
wasn't
put
no
a-
Walmart shopping here.
They put a smile on your face
Easy.
and it set the mood.
Easy. Why are your hands chilly?
My hands, are they?
she got
Mine
go.
aren't.
she have a warm heart.
Here we go.
There we go.
See, she's warming her hands, and my hands is always warm.
That's because you got a cold heart.
No, it don't. You know I got a good heart.
I
Anyway.
took my medicine today.
Oh, okay.
All righty. Well, on that note, welcome to Tangy Tea, everyone. We appreciate y'all for joining us on this Tuesday. We are back. And thank you, Sly, for the stars. I can't see everyone, but thank y'all so much. I know Tyrone is on here.
He already.
Young and
Young
Young
and
Funeral Home sent you a personal message. Hi,
Wow.
Veronica. You are missed.
Oh, thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Young and Young, thank you so much. Thank you.
As a funeral home, I don't want them to ever tell me I'm missed. I ain't even gonna lie to
Glad
you.
you said it. I was about,
Yeah, hell no.
I didn't want to mess up her sponsorship.
Yeah, don't miss me. Please don't.
I mean, it's because of radio. Come on now.
Oh, okay. I mean, I get it, but
Because it's called voiceovers,
Right, like
commercials.
all of that.
That's what it's about.
Clientele.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mr. Sammy. Hey, Thomas. I saw Thomas today. Thomas purchased some more sea moss from me. Thank you.
Oh,
Thomas.
I made a mistake. I am so
Appreciate
sorry.
you.
I apologize. I said David Wright Robinson is Davia. Is that how you say it? Davia last week and again tonight. You call me David. Remind me of when
Davia.
Davia. I'm so sorry. Now, since you corrected me, thank you for correcting me. I have no problem being corrected because I want to call people their proper names. So, Davia, I apologize for that. And now, since I made that mistake, I will never make that mistake again. Thank you for the correction.
I can't stand Jason. You know what? Anywho, thank y'all so much. How was everyone's weekend?
I mean, mine was straight. It was cool. I mean, ain't nothing really extraordinary happened. I just went to work and that was it.
So
Yeah,
you
that's
worked
it.
all weekend?
Oh yeah.
Well, I cleaned up, but I had company to help me clean up.
Oh.
So, yeah, because I feel that living by myself, the house, even though it's not messy, I needed a deep cleaning. And I always say that my apartment now, without a woman in it, misses that woman's touch. And that's why I wanted a friend who came by to help me. And it made it easier. It was fun. And we had something to drink, clean, play some cards after. Really good day. Saturday and then Sunday, I put on Facebook. I supported my family member in what is it, Sherrard, South Carolina, where Sherrard. Yes, I went out there after my radio show to support her in her business, and so that was pretty much the weekend this weekend. So it was a pretty good weekend, productive.
All right. E.G., how was your weekend?
My weekend was amazing. I was able to launch my very first publication, the Innovators Journal Guide. I am so excited
Congratulations.
for it. So you all need to go to coacheg.com and do your pre-order. It is a 13-week, journal guide to help you launch your next big idea or movement in your vision. So, but I was super excited that I got to launch that because I had to work hard and hit a lot of deadlines to get it ready. So, yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you to those who have supported. Thank you to all the new innovators out there.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot out there that we need to promote and lift up.
Yes.
Thank you.
Congratulations, E.G.
Thank you, love. Now, how was your weekend?
Well, Saturday was a very hard day for me. My sister-in-law lost her father. His funeral was Saturday, so seeing, my nephews breaking, they broke down because of their grandfather, and seeing my sister-in-law and all them, it's never easy when you
say goodbye.
Yeah, so it was a hard day for me, and then after that, I went to celebrate with my good friend Ann. Celebrate her birthday. It was a paint and sip, so I was able to. That was able to brighten up my day
And release a little too.
Yeah. So that was really fun. I love Ann. She's such a sweetheart. Very down to earth. She started coming to my fitness classes, and we clicked. And she's been supporting me from the beginning. So shouts out to Ann. Today is actually her birthday.
Happy birthday, Ann.
Yes. And yeah, that was pretty much my weekend.
Well, all love to your sister-in-law and her
Yeah,
family.
prayers and condolences. And I just say this, for funerals, and a lot of people don't want to talk about them, and they are sad when we lose people. But I'll tell you this: I've lost some very close people, but the services that was held for them, they sent them home right, and that picked up my spirit. Hanifa had two services, one down here and one in New York. New York was totally different. And then I remember my mom's and then my aunt and my cousins really sung and really lift up the roof. So sometimes it's hard to say goodbye, but sometimes when they can lift your spirit, you reflect back on the memories. Yes, you miss them and the pain, but to lift them up in that moment, it sometimes picks up your spirit as well.
Absolutely.
Right. Well, thank y'all so much. I appreciate that. Davia says, no worries. You can't do anything wrong in her eyes, Fatine.
Oh, look at it.
Okay, all right. I appreciate that, my sister.
Let me text somebody and I can put in all that shit.
Uh-oh.
Oh, gosh. All right, guys. Well, Coach E.G., we want to talk about the 5 love languages.
5 love languages.
E.G. is a certified coach. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, on top of other things that's going to come along with this. Love is such a beautiful thing. And when you really love someone, genuinely love your partner, like, it's an amazing feeling. And, Fatine, like you were saying, having that female, there at the place, around you.
Feminine energy.
Yeah, like,
We need that balance.
Yeah.
We need that balance, and a lot of us men
just need to touch
that
someone.
operate in this masculinity, sometimes we don't allow that in. But when you talk about love, and I've talked about this before on this show, if I had to take the single life and to be in a marriage that is really connecting and is really love, it's beautiful. And I can only say, I'm not gonna say I haven't loved more than once, but to be in love, it's one of the most powerful things. And when you're working together and building together, and then you create and procreating together, and your children, like right now with my late wife, like I said, her birthday's this Thursday. Hanifa's birthday is this Thursday, May 2nd. But to look at my daughters, to see the reflection of myself, but to see Hanifa still living through them, is such a beautiful thing. And that's all I can say. I'm not going to hog the mic, but it's just such a beautiful thing, as you just said.
Yes. So, E.G., would you like to kick it off?
Well, sure. Well, I just want to, before we kick it off, I want to comment on something Brother Fatine said. And it was the operative word, to be in love. Because we can love someone,
Yeah.
but to be in love is a whole different level of energy.
Correct.
It's like sometimes when we say to our kids, I love you, but I don't like you, right? That in love piece is that piece of liking them, of being excited and getting excited by them and exciting them. And so part of the reason why I suggested this is, I'm a business consultant coach. And corporations are always investing money in how do people communicate, right? And I'm sure all of us have taken, from Stratford Briggs to Darwin Nielsen, we've all taken different levels, Myers-Briggs, of the personality and communication test, right? And it's always to figure out, how does Veronica like to be communicated with? And that's what the love languages are about. It's about how does Fatine, how does Vic like to be communicated with. And it's not an absolute of, if I just do everything this way that E.G. likes, I'll keep her happy. But it helps you to understand the perfect. So first of all, let's talk about what the 5 love languages are, right?
Right.
And again, when we talk about it, it's about, how do you like to be communicated in a relationship? That's number 1. Number 2, when it comes to love languages, they will change. right? So I first learned about the love languages like 20, 25 years ago. And I can say what I was 20 years ago is not my same love language
yeah.
now. It,
Yeah.
it will change. It will change as you grow and develop. It will change based on, what's happened in previous relationships. So, and that's a beautiful thing, because I always say, if you're not living and growing as a human being, then you're dead, right? You're dead. So the 5 love languages are acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, words of affirmation, and physical touch. And the reason why they can become great clues in a relationship, if, let's just say, for example, mine is acts of service, right? And so if Vic was my true boyfriend, he wouldn't have, gave me cornstarch. He would have given me another bottle of wine, right? But acts of service, if he and I lived together, and I'm always in a bad mood, and his thing was, let me bring her another gift, right? And every day he's bringing me these gifts, right? But I'm not receiving them well. What is your first thought, Vic, of what's going on?
If you're not receiving the, excuse me, if you're
I
not,
seem unappreciative every time you give me something.
then I apparently the gift that I'm giving is not up to par with what you're.
But what, just as a normal man, as a normal human being, in your mind, I'm giving her all these nice gifts. Maybe I went to the Tory Burch store and bought her our favorite TV flip-flops.
I would honestly think that either my gift wasn't that good enough. I would honestly think that, and I would eventually, if I kept giving you gifts and I wasn't getting the response, I would stop, and it just wouldn't be. I'm only gonna try, but so hard,
so much, right?
and now I'm done.
And at some point, you may even begin to resent me
I
or
would.
feel I'm ungrateful. When in actuality, my love language is saying all that stuff is fine,
But it's
but
not
it's not what I want.
and it's not making you
give me
happy.
something that I want, which could be, could you help me get the kids in bed earlier? Could you, clean my car for me, or something to that effect? And that's why love languages become important on the converse. So let's just say yours is, and we talked about this a little bit, physical touch, right? So when you come home from work, I'm praising you. You're a great provider, honey. You did well, blah, 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 right? But all you want is a hug from me, not in a sexual way.
Nope.
You just want a hug. You want a hug from me. You want me to sit beside you for a minute. But I'm not giving you that, because I'm misinterpreting it as, if I sit with him, he wants to take it to the next level.
Correct.
But it's not sexual. You just need that physical touch. And even though, and in my mind, but I praise you. I tell you you're a good man. But I'm not talking to you in your language. So then you don't feel heard. And that's why the love languages can become great anchors in relationships, because what it teaches is, once I learn that your love language is touch, then I know when you're having a bad day, that's what I come to you with first.
Correct. That's right.
Right. That's how I soothe and make you
Man,
better.
you're doing a whole lot of touching
Yeah,
over there.
don't worry about that. You worry about what's on your side of the damn room. Shit, you don't worry about what's on your side of the room.
That's your love.
You learn what's on your side of the room.
This is the problem right here.
Yeah. But easy, let me just say this.
Right
Let me
here.
break this. Let me just say this. Let me
You're
just.
going to have some damn heifer
Right.
and Magnolia Mall stepping at me the wrong way, and I'm CWP certified. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah,
I'm just
me
letting
too.
You know. I'm just letting
But
you
easy,
know.
let me just say this, because I say this on this show a lot, and I think what you're doing tonight is you're dissecting. I've always talked about compatibility, and when I talk about compatibility, we don't take the time to at least know ourselves, number one, but also learn our partners.
Exactly.
What you're doing today is you're dissecting. I hit it from a more surface point of view. You're dissecting it and going internal. So looking at the Bible and say, oh, this is the Bible and this is the good book. What you're saying is open that book, read the book, and apply what's in the book so you can understand and have more of a not say progressive, but a more
In depth.
exactly
Mhm.
a relationship, a successful relationship.
Right.
And even if, and this is what's so important, sometimes even going through what you're saying, you may realize that you two may not be compatible, but you still
Exactly.
respect and love each other,
Mhm.
that you might go different ways, but you don't go in a negative, angry way.
Right. Right. You leave as friends.
There you
You
go.
leave as
There
friends.
you go.
Yeah. Because the huge part about learning um, how people like to be communicated with, be it, love languages or other styles of communication, you also have to learn yourself, right? Because you may not realize it took me a long time to realize that gifts just didn't do it for me, right? And it did cause, tension within my relationship with the
Mm.
person, because but I didn't know. It took me a minute to realize that's not my love language. And the reason why it wasn't my love language, because to me it was surface. That's just how I felt about it. That's number one. And then number two, right? At some point, this is my thought, and anybody can disagree with me. When it comes to receiving gifts, the reason why acts of service is important to me is at some point you're doing something for me I can do for myself.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So at some point, you're not you buying me another thing of flowers, you buying me another thing of whatever. I can do that for myself,
Mm,
but help me with something that I need help with.
right.
But I had to learn what my love language was, so then I can communicate that
But you
Yeah.
know that
to the
some
next
people
person.
can, and some people can't. This is, and maybe I'm going a little jumping ahead, but it's amazing when your partner knows your love language, but not only through helping you through identifying with your love language, you're growing because of who they are. You're starting to see more of them, which is inspiring you. That not only inspires you, motivates you to be reciprocal, to give more. And that's how you grow. And when you grow like that in a healthy kind of way, it you start feeling things that you've never ever felt before.
That's it.
Mm.
Mr. Vic,
What's going on?
what's your love language, baby?
I think mine was.
Cornstarch.
Now, see, we keep taking shots. I'm gonna start shooting too, cause I'm trying to be on my best behavior tonight.
I'm not taking
I know it's
shots.
not. I know it ain't you. It's that other yellow nigga next to you.
That's the New York Nick. That's the New York Nick Negro right here.
But
Can he be a Negro tonight?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Mhm.
Yes,
Just get him right.
You know, mine was quality time. I feel like one of the worst things somebody can do is waste my time.
Mm-hmm.
I've had people waste my time, and we just don't rock. I'll never look at them the same again. I only got a couple hours. I say a couple. We talking about the span of life. I only got a few hours on this earth, and I don't want to waste it on the wrong people or the wrong situations. I'm not saying a relationship was a waste of time because I learned from that, but a relationship that I have with people that meant nothing to me is a waste of my time. So I just, that's just my thing. If we schedule something and you blow me off, like you won't get that opportunity again.
What if I said to you, part of what you have to establish going into a relationship is how valuable your time is, and you also have to learn how other people perceive time, because many people have a challenge understanding the concept of time.
Yeah.
One of the things I coach on is I don't like to say time management. I say time organization, right? Time organization. We as kids are not taught the skill set of time management, time organization. And a lot of people don't realize that time is the most invaluable resource. Like, you cannot go to any store and buy it.
Okay.
We just think we have more of it.
Yeah.
And so for you, I can see how I wasn't surprised. And I think physical touch is your second.
Yeah,
one,
that
right?
was my
Yeah,
second
that
one.
did not surprise me at all. But I think for you, part of is you would have to learn in your relationships how other people perceive time, and you have to teach them the value of what it means to you. I saw a
Isn't time relevant? See, do people? Isn't time relevant in people's eyes? So
Subjective.
right.
Yeah.
So in his
Mhm.
eyes, and then his partner's eyes,
It's
they may be thinking they're giving the certain amount of time that is needed, but it's relevant to each one's perspective.
right, and that's why I said he would definitely have to have those conversations with his partner. And Vic has a black and white. You get it or you don't. Waste my time. Get on, girl. But if he could open himself to educating his partner and learning his partner, then I think you can bridge the gap. I was going to mention, I saw an interview with comedian Country Wayne, and he was saying that a woman that wants his time, he can't deal with because he's so busy. So he needs a woman that he can buy gifts on. And the first thing that came to mind for me, he is going to max out always on the type of woman he can be involved with. And we're not going to go down that road. But if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
In other words, and it made sense, right? It's why so many celebrity relationships don't make it. But, if he was dealing with a woman of equal stature,
It would.
those Tiffany earrings don't impress me. I can go
Right.
buy them myself. I want your time. So, yeah.
That's why just real quick, that's why he jumps from woman to woman at the end of the day. That's why. I appreciate his responsibility of not only taking care of his kids, but taking care of the mother of his kids. But on the other end, he does have issue with himself. And I don't know if the issue is with the women. I think it's with him.
It's with him. It's with him.
So
Love language can't fix that.
I got a question. So when it comes down to love language, I feel like if I express how important some of this stuff is, I give you the cheat code on how to pretty much manipulate my mood in a sense. And I'm looking at it from that. So if you said like somebody's like you said, if somebody's love language was gift giving, if I wanted to do some off the wall stuff, I'd go ahead and have that in the back of my mind, this pre-gift or something like that. Or if somebody, like you said, mine is quality time, which I sure wish I wouldn't have took that seriously now. But because I think some people use things like that to their advantage to try and, like I said, manipulate the situations. But
that's in general, right? So we're not talking about necessary. You're right. Anything can be manipulated if you're not dealing with somebody that's being genuine. And part of the love languages is, helping you to develop a healthy relationship. We're not talking about the bullshit in the games. So someone who likes to receive gifts, and this one always gets misconstrued. It's not someone that's materialistic, right?
yeah,
The gift for them can be something homemade that you made them,
Yeah.
right? The gift for them can be, you went and made a homemade batch of cookies.
Right.
It doesn't have to be something, the designer, whatever. It's not that. They just like to receive those physical tokens of love. But to your point, any piece of this could be manipulated because nothing is absolute. And the whole part of it is you want to make sure you're dealing with people that are genuine. And it is a way to figure out if somebody's genuine. Now, like I said, mine is acts of service, but I still like to receive gifts. It's just that's not just how you're going to make me feel better.
Right.
So somebody with a love language that at the very bottom, if theirs is quality time and mine is one, we wouldn't work, right?
No, that's not necessary because me and Fatine was talking about this earlier.
You keep on with them hands now. I'm looking. You getting on my damn nerves now. I was trying to be cool over here.
I got warm hands, bro.
We were talking earlier. Our giving language.
Slide your chair over a little bit this way. Thank you. Come on.
Now I'm not going to be on camera. Our giving languages, right? Because you have giving language, are the total opposite of our love language.
Okay. Okay.
And if you really think about it, yours probably is to some point. So what you want, and that's actually, the dynamics of a great relationship, having some yin and yang to it.
Okay,
So
exactly.
what soothes you, what you need to receive from your partner, may not be the way that you want to pour into your partner. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So V, what's yours?
Mine is a words of affirmation.
Talk to me about that.
I I like when someone is saying nice things to me and making me feel special and wanted. So when my results came back, I was like, yeah, I knew that. And second was what? Let me see what my second one was.
I think you're the second.
Quality time,
Yeah.
most definitely. Talk nice to me, let me know how you really feel, make me feel special, and spending quality time. Like that is huge for me. I love spending time with whoever I'm with. Yeah. What?
But-
No, it's
but-
how
yeah, but you-
it's the hand. It was the hand motion. And you went whoever I'm with.
But it's interesting for Veronica, and I just want to say this, and E.G., you comment on this. Veronica love language to me is her life language. This is what I'm saying. Because we're not in a relationship, but I watch you and when you deserve it. I've complimented you doing different things or whatever, and how you receive it, how you give it back, and it's not from a negative place. It's not from an egotistical place, but that's not just your love language. It's your life language, and a lot of people love language and life language can be different because some people have to be touched for their love language because their life language because of baggage or other things. They have to people have to break through it to get to their love language. But yours is very, from what I feel. Again, E.G. can comment on this.
You're right.
But your love, and I don't know you on the love side, but you've spoken about it, your love and life language is to me so compatible. I'm not going to say they one and the same, but they're very similar.
Thank you, Fatine.
I agree.
Thank you.
100%.
Mr. 1-4.
I like to put out what I want. I would like to receive. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm that person that loves to spend quality time. I would want somebody to spend quality time with me. I love to tell
Don't check her
people.
on that.
I
You touching my boo thing.
oh my bad. My bad.
When I'm not here, you can feel him up.
Okay.
When I'm here, watch your hands.
Watch your hands.
Is that what I'm supposed to say?
Oh yeah.
Okay, babe.
Keep it toxic.
He gonna have you in a moo in a minute, frying chicken, and your toddler's moving all over the place. Watch out! You'll be in a moo in a minute.
And I got my legs out. I'm sorry, V. See my legs out, yo?
Jesus.
My legs out.
Fatine, what was yours, sir?
Jesus.
Oh gosh, let's see. What was mine? Let's see.
Look at him looking over the top of his glass.
Word.
Yeah, 'cause I can't.
I thought yours was touch.
Act of service.
Act
Act
of
of service.
service, yeah.
Act of service. And then it looks like words of affirmation. And then wow, physical touch. And wow, look at this.
Hey, ho! God.
Wait a minute. These 1, 2, they came very all even.
Mm-hmm.
It's all yoked together.
Don't cross that line right there.
They all yoked together. What does
Your
that
first,
mean?
your
What-
first two are. If you don't sit your ass down, we're gonna break
Thank
up
you.
now.
What does that mean? What do you think? What are you getting out of that?
So your primary is acts of service and quality time,
Yeah.
right? And then what I look at is what is the last one,
Okay.
and it's the receiving gifts. That means the very least to you.
Mhm.
So this actually acts of service, then quality time, right? Then we come down to words of affirmation. Then we come down to physical touch. That is who you are.
Exactly.
That is who you are. So I always look at the first two, and then I kind of look at the last one and see if it's, an exception. And it is compared to how the others are. So yeah,
I'm proud of that.
yeah.
There you
Yes.
go.
But so what does that mean to you?
To me, for me, just to look at this, I'm a giver, And to me, I want to make sure that I can put a smile on somebody's face. I want to make somebody happy. It's not all about me, but I am at times, appreciative. I want to be appreciated. I don't want to be taken advantage of, but I'm more of I'm more of a helper. And I know that when you help, you may not receive as much as you give, but as long as it's appreciated, that's how I feel.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Tyrone says learning how to balance it. I used to teach the 5 LLs, and one thing we don't realize that a part of the language is accepting our partner's communication from their love language.
Absolutely.
And I can't see Mr. Carl's comment.
It
Men,
says, go ahead. No, go ahead.
men want to be appreciated and held in esteem regardless of what their love language says. Well, see, that's what I'm saying, brother Carl. If see, that's the problem right there. That's part of for me. If you said men want to be appreciated and held in esteem,
So does
respect,
women.
regardless of what their love language is. If your love language is on zero, but you want to be felt that way and you're not giving anything, how does people read that? You understand what I'm saying? If you want something, how do you communicate that if you don't verbally communicate and your energy doesn't communicate that? See, that's the problem with communication, compatibility, and breaking down these walls. That's why I've always said, which I said, compatibility, but we got to communicate. What's the word I say? Communication is so important.
And that's what the love languages are about. It's not negating anything that you want or how you want to be treated, right? The love language helps to dive into how that can be expressed to you through your partner.
Correct.
It doesn't change anything. Women want to be held in high regard and esteem, right? So that's neither here nor there. What love languages do, or any type of modality of communication, what you're doing is trying to show your partner how you like to be communicated with. Again, you're a man who wants to be held in high esteem, right? In high regard. But if I'm just steady dousing you with gifts, you're not feeling that. And I in my mind, I think I'm lifting you up. I'm buying my man gifts.
You giving me
doing it.
diesel and I need regular gas.
Right. So that's why, to your point, communication is key. But we have, be it love languages or any other modality, we have to figure out. We always talk about communicate. It is important, just within friendships. It is important, for us to learn. You and I learned years ago how to communicate with each other when one is aggravated with the other.
Yeah.
I know my energy. I know I can come in loud, brash, and off the scene. Having friends, you have to understand when your energy can be too much, and at the same time, they have to understand when you need your energy to be that much. And so that's what love language is about. It's not an absolute. It's not saying this is all of who you are, and it doesn't describe what you want. It's basically just opens up the door of how do I communicate with
But I
my
have a
partner?
curveball
How
for
do I
you.
get him out of his little funk right now?
Yeah, I have a
What
curveball for
funk
you.
am I?
Easy. Yeah.
How can I be in the funk?
I'm messing with
I'm
you.
listening.
I have a curveball for you.
He's been
What's
on his
up?
best.
So let me start off with Tyrone. Tyrone Edge says, I think respect is common ground and it trumps love languages. So let me just say this and then I'm going to throw the curveball to you, Sister EG, and we'll see what you do with it. So I always said that if you love someone and don't respect them, that relationship probably is not going to last long. If you respect someone, respect goes a long way. But what happens, Sister EG? You got respect for one another, but your partner is not feeling your love language. Now, I brought this up before, how when we in a relationship, you're supposed to be one-on-one committed, but we in the real world. Let's be real here. What happens is you are not being stimulated, your love language is not being fed, and then someone outside of the relationship feeds your love language. This is what, see, now you're dissecting this. So, what does that mean? And how do you get around it when you tell your mate, listen, you're not giving me what I need? And then they ignore it, don't know how to give it. And then you happen to get that from someone else. Talk about that.
Bullshit.
Can I say one thing before you do that?
Sure.
Tyrone, I think like he said, I think respect is a common ground in Trump's love language. As a man that's probably never received exactly what I want, the disappointment becomes like second nature. I say it's like I've been in places and situations where I wanted something to happen and it just didn't. But I know that's universal. I know that's universal. But you talk about the quality. Well, it says about the quality time and physical touch. So I think they go kind of hand in hand. But when you want that from someone and they don't give it to you, or they can't give it to you, and you still in love with this person, then what you supposed to do? But you can answer the
Yeah, because you saying something totally different.
Yeah, let me
enormous
let
question.
me just say this. Tyrone always does this. Here goes for teen trying to blame someone for the decisions you make. Again, Tyrone, I'm going to say it to you in your face. If someone is not giving you what you want, it's not blaming, it's the reality of the situation. I'm not blaming someone if they're not giving it to me or if I'm not giving it to them. That's the reality, my brother. It's not about blaming someone. That's why I put the question, because you know what? People cheat, people step out, and there's reasons why. And not to say it's justifiable. I'm just saying I'm not blaming anyone. I'm talking about, did you listen to what E.G. said about these love languages and about giving and feeding
Well, I
and
think at
understanding?
that point we're beyond love
Right.
languages.
Exactly,
So
but let's
let
talk
me-
about it.
You gonna let me answer? Or you gonna argue with Tyrone?
I finished. I had to say what I had to say to Tyrone.
Get him, baby.
We go back.
Get him, baby.
Okay, but he was right.
Get him, baby.
So first
And
of
I
all,
totally disagree.
I know, but you getting ready to disagree with me.
Yeah.
But let me say this, okay? To Tyrone's point, everybody wants to be respected. I think in a lot of cases, kind of feeding off of what Vic was saying, you've wanted something, couldn't get it, and sometimes we feel disrespected when a lot of times it's just a lack of communication, a misunderstanding, or getting back to you, incompatibility.
Correct.
Right? But just because we're incompatible does not mean I'm disrespecting you, right? It let me say that, hold on now, because maybe I don't have the capacity to pour love into you. Let's take the love languages out.
Okay.
If you're a touchy-feely person and I'm not, and you may not I may not even realize why I'm not. Maybe I have some talking about that baggage. Maybe I have some psychological trauma from something that happened to me, and I'm just not touchy-feely. That's not me disrespecting you when you want to hug up, and I'm like, nah, get off. That's not me disrespecting you. That's basically me protecting myself, and I just don't have the capacity to give you what you want. That doesn't make me a bad person, doesn't make you a bad person, and it does not mean I'm disrespecting you. Now, to your bullshit.
Get him, baby.
Okay, let's be clear. I'm always going to stand on this. Call me the bitter woman if you must. But I will always stand on. I know that in relationships, people cheat. And I'm not saying that's the first thing that breaks up a relationship. I'm not saying that. However, I will never co-sign on I stepped out because you made me. Because I feel like this. If somebody can make you step out, they can make you step in, right? If you stepped out to the point because you weren't being fulfilled, just leave. Leave.
That's what I say.
But if you
I do say what.
Yeah.
but if you
Yeah.
step out and you want to repair your relationship, you gotta own it, and you cannot come. I can't speak for no other woman, but you can't come to E.G. Oakland Black with the bullshit of you made me do it.
So-
you can't come to me. I could have been way out of wrong, way whatever.
So-
because I'm always stand on just leave.
So I'm gonna respond to that. So since you want to call it BS, I sat back and I listened. So I heard what you're saying. I'm not about blaming. I'm talking about fulfillment. And I've said this before on this show, and you said it last week, and I said that to you when you was there, and I'm gonna say it to your face. And that at times it's just not as easy to leave. Again, I'm not trying to
it
justify-
is.
No,
It is.
no.
No,
Let me finish, EG.
You said it last
Let me finish,
week.
and let me finish
But
though.
you had the mic
No.
last
But let me finish. I let
Okay,
you. I
go
didn't
ahead.
say
Go
anything.
ahead.
You
What
said
I'm
my
saying
big guy.
is What I'm
Answer me,
saying
why is it
is
not that easy to
everything,
leave?
Sister EG, you talk about energy, and you talk about everything is just not cut and dry.
I didn't say it was
No,
though.
but you said it's easy to leave. And I said, no, it's not always easy to leave because there's a lot of things that are tied into this. Meaning, everything doesn't mean you step out. Sometimes you get energy from someone through, I'm not getting the conversation from my spouse,
Mm-hmm.
but you get that conversation from a coworker or a friend that you tend to enjoy that. See, every time we think of, when we step out or we getting that energy that we need or we feel we want or need, it's always stepping out, sleeping with someone.
No,
But
it's
right,
not.
right,
It's
that's
not.
what I'm
It's
saying.
not.
Thank
It's
you.
not. It's
Right.
not. Because
It's
let
not.
me be
Right.
clear.
Okay.
I have never liked that mess of what's that term? Not house husband, work husband.
Work husband, work wife. Right.
No, no, no. We ain't doing that. We ain't playing that. Here's why I say it's easy to leave. You're right. It is not easy to leave when let me be clear. I married the same asshole twice and divorced him twice.
Got it.
So I'm not sitting here saying it's cut and dry, black and white.
Right.
I am saying when you step out, when you cheat, you're making a conscious choice.
Correct.
Right?
I agree with that.
If you're not being fulfilled and you don't think it can be repaired,
Then yeah, I agree with that. Then leave.
but to say that I stepped out because I wasn't getting it from home, to me, I'm always gonna stand on that wrong. Just say it was something else out there because it's all, you know what? Here's the thing, and I think you will agree with this. We as human beings can never be 100% to anybody.
That's correct.
I can never be 100% as a mom to my kid, right? I can never be 100% as a wife to you, right? We're always going to come up short. And so if I just took the bare bones of your analogy and saying, you know what? I got to stay with Vic because he about to pop over here. Vic 90%. But Fatine, give me that 10. Fatine been warming up my hands all night, right? So from that standpoint, you could always say, there's always something that I'm not getting because we're not 100% as human beings.
But EG, let me ask you this, and they know this. I don't need to go into it, but I got to give it to you this way, and you just tell me what you think. Been in a situation where a woman captured my mind. I was in the relationship, but a woman, by spending time, going to work, coming back home, whatever, captured my mind and sort of my heart. Not to the point of me leaving home, but I enjoy spending time with her. When the missus found out about it, this was what was said to me, not only by her, but other women.
Mm-hmm.
Even my cousin said this, that woman had your heart. I said that my woman said it would have been better if you'd have slept with her and moved on because your heart, you understand? It would have been hit it, keep it moving, this, that, and other. But once that person had your heart, they had your mind. And what do you feel? I just want to hear what your thing.
I agree 110%. It's what is the saying? Women use sex for love, men use love for sex. It is that thing, right? And so, not saying we want you to cheat either way, but that emotional component, that cuts a whole lot deeper. But because that means you were sharing, you were deep, you were intimate, even though it may not have been physical. You were intimate, right? And so for a woman, she, it's almost like the other woman penetrated something that was supposed to be sacred. Right? You all will be fine, not be fine. Y'all can forgive if I talk to another guy, right? And we was just talking. We might have been a little too close with the talking, but we were talking. You can forgive that.
But
if I sleep with him,
We cannot. See, men and women are different because that's how I was operating. Remember, I'm a man. So for me, I can understand a woman flirting with a guy or whatever. But if you sleep with him, so my mind was, I'm not being physically with this woman. But when I was told that, I was like, I don't believe I didn't live my life like that. See how we think and see that's that men from Mars and women Venus part right there.
It is that serious. It is that serious.
I appreciate it. Because I heard it, and that's something that I don't debate it no more. I've learned that from women.
But let me say this to all the women out there. This to the younger women. If your man is cheating, and we're not gonna get on the cheating tonight, but let me just give some advice to my young girls.
You know I'm gonna talk about a little polygamy now. Come on.
Okay, we're not doing that.
Yes, we are.
I can't even entertain that conversation. I don't like to share my shoes. I don't like to share my. And I don't get along well enough to be a sister wife.
Listen. Focus.
Give you a little bit more free time. You ain't got to cook
That
every
you
night,
started
girl.
saying, 'cause for teen love to throw that in there. Go talk to the women.
Okay, to my ladies, okay? When you find out, and this is going to be hard, but all my aunties and my mama taught me this right here, and this is gospel truth. It is hard. But when you find out your man is cheating, sweetie, don't waste your time trying to find out who she is. Because number one, by the time you find out the who, you already know the do. Like, we as women, we know when they're cheating, right? So finding out who it is just confirmation. I know it's hard, but do not put yourself in that cycle where you feel like you got to go find out who it is. Because all you're going to do is play this comparison game that's never going to make sense to you.
Listen.
It is going to hurt you more. It ain't going to add up.
That's true.
It's not, if she's quote unquote uglier than you, then you're going to be like, well, damn. Why was he messing with her? If she's prettier than you, well, Dad, I don't measure up. That's not who she was and that does not matter. Don't go out there looking. Don't go, unless it's like a family member, some mess like that. That's different. But just wanting to know who she is and why was he attracted. He can't tell you why he was attracted to her.
Oh, listen.
Yes, we can.
That's like
Yes, we
that's
can.
like preaching to the choir, or however they say the saying, because women are terrible when it comes to that. They will go looking for that woman, like you telling them not to.
Don't do
They
it.
will go looking for that woman, and they will have beef. That's probably an old word.
Let me
There's
be
a
clear.
new
I'm going to
word.
tell some of my
But
business
But
right
I'm
here on
saying,
this forum.
like a female will go.
Let her tell her
after-
business.
Wait a minute.
I'm just
A
messing.
female will go after another female before they will go to that
Before
man.
they go,
Like, I don't
your
understand.
issue is with the man.
I
It's
don't understand.
and your issue is with him and him only, because he is the only one that owes you fidelity, be it him, your boyfriend or your husband or whatever. That other woman, she might be dead ass wrong, but she didn't promise you a thing in the world. Do not go looking after her. You need to go deal with him. Especially if you know you're going to stay. What you going to look at her for? Like, leave that alone. But I'm here to tell you, have I knocked on a woman's door before? Yes, I have. But my conversation went way different. Ma'am, tell him to come get his shit and sign these papers. So let's be that's me.
But
That's me.
and that's
That's
the thing.
me.
It be the ones that are cheating with the person you with. Like, they're mad at you, but they are the one that is cheating with him. Like, I don't understand that part.
Right.
But let me
women
just-
can come together and get on one
Yeah.
accord. It could be
that's a
such
whole
a
other
So
Yeah.
so you ladies, and rightfully so, you giving your perspective. From your perspective, what you will do. It's times that I bring up these issues because people are going through these. The first thing that I saw in life was some women in my family as adults stepping out
Mm-hmm.
and saw, not all I was told by my mom, what you see, you don't repeat. That's not your business.
Mm-hmm.
I leave that alone. Then I seen men do what they do. And the reason why I bring this up, because I say that you give this advice so cut and dry because what you two will do. But there's a lot of people that are doing this. And I'm not trying to justify it, but we have to have this conversation about this because I've seen and heard a lot of women accept it. Some accept it, some don't. Again,
Well, let me
I'm
be
just
clear.
saying, why are we having this? You know, I see, that's why I bring this up. And a lot of people want to come at me, 0-15 want to cheat. I'm just saying, a lot of us men get together in the barbershop or get together and we talk shit. We talk about women, we talk about this, we talk about that, and a lot of us know our nature, but then we bullshit and lie to the women that we are with,
Here we
knowing
go.
that that's not who we
knew it was
are.
coming.
Some of us,
I knew
some
it was-
of us.
I knew it was
Hold
fucking
on,
coming.
stop
I
for
knew
a
it was
second.
coming.
Let me shift it back a little bit.
Okay. Because we have to talk about this.
We're not giving cut and dry advice based on what we would do. We're giving advice, and it's not cut and dry. We're giving advice because we're trying to change narratives and generational cycles
Right.
of what we have been through. I'm not saying I did it the perfect way, right? And we are trying to break generational cycles because, to your point, right? You're saying, well, why are you giving advice when we know women are still going to do it this way? Well, a big
No,
part.
I'm not saying why you giving advice. What I'm saying is it's good to give this advice, but it's good to have the conversation about it instead of being at times cut and dry. Oh, girlfriend, I ain't doing
Well,
it. I'm
it's
going to
cut and dry
leave.
'cause we're
But we
on a
need to talk about
podcast,
why
but when
do
we're
some of
talk-
us do these things to understand why we do it.
That's what I'm saying. Part of the reason why I give the advice, and it may seem cut and dry because we're on a podcast, right? But if we were talking in a group of women, part of it is women have been told to stay in relationships simply because he's a good man.
Correct.
Right?
Thank you.
Because he's a good man. And so part of why I give the advice is to say, if you want to stay, if you feel it's a relationship worth working on, if he's a good dude that made a bad mistake, right? That's fine. But don't feel like you have to.
Correct.
And at some point, let's understand, and it's to the older men
That should know better.
that should know better. At some point, you're not making mistakes. You're making what?
Bad decisions.
Thank you. And so I'm saying to the women, don't feel like, yeah, we do, but we're not going there.
Oh, God.
Don't feel like, and this is to anybody, male or female, if you're being
Right.
cheated on, don't feel like you have to stay for the sake of a relationship, for the sake of children, for the sake of this or that. You know, I heard you say last week when you got a family or this or that. Let me say this. We hurt children more when we stay in dysfunctional relationships. We do. And they pick up those dysfunctional habits.
We pass it on generation
And we
to
pass
generation
it on.
Yeah.
So to say I'm gonna stay for my kids, or it's not easy because I got kids, or this or that or the other, that is actually not the best solution. You stay if it can be healthy and you can work it out. But if you staying simply because we got kids, but I don't really like her no more, I don't really like his ass no more, then it's not healthy.
That's all I'm asking you to say. That's what I'm saying. Have this conversation, what you said, but explain it instead of just saying, do this, do that. Explain it and explain some of the steps to get to where you need to get to.
Well,
That's
let me explain this then to my younger ladies out there, like my nieces. My real nieces, they know. All my little nieces out there listening. But my play nieces out here in podcast land, live your best whole life. Live your best whole life. Live your best whole life. HEAUX, that whole life. I don't mean go sleep with everybody. But what I do mean is date.
Yeah, we talked about that on
Date.
here, and that's what I was saying too to the younger females. Like, but will we do this at our age now? Because
Yes.
I've always been that girl. Like when I start talking to someone, like that's who I'm talking to. This only that person. But I be saying to myself, like, I wish I was that person that would date. But see, we get called names when we start dating
But do you date
multiple
one?
people.
But on your show, was it you that said if you date? Remember what I said? For me, dating was different than I don't know if it was you, Veronica, or another female. When I dated, I was not in a commitment, so I dated different women at different times. I mean, the same. I dated because there was no commitment. If I wanted to take this one to the movie or take this one to dinner, I was honest about it. So that's dating. Some look at dating is if I'm dating you, then it's more of a commitment. So what do you, when you talk about dating, what do you mean
My
from
brother,
your
I'm getting-
perspective
you
of dating?
definitely have lived your best whole life.
Oh, damn real. Damn right. Damn right.
Yeah,
Damn right.
HOE, not HEAUX.
Damn right.
Yeah, whole
No,
thing.
but it wasn't about a whole life because I've had, like I've said to you, I've had really good friendships that I'm friends with these people today. And because, at the end of the day, dating doesn't mean you exclusively with one person. I don't believe in that. Unless that's
Vic,
your
you
choice.
quiet. What are your thoughts?
I mean, y'all been doing a lot of talking. So he asked Veronica a question, and I was going.
Well, okay. Say
My
the
question is, was it you or another female? Because it's not about right or wrong. Because when it was said on the show, I agreed. I said dating for me meant that if I choose to go out with you, to take you out to dinner, and I decide to take her out to the movies, I'm not making no commitments, and I let everybody know. Listen, I date, I take out other women, and this, that, and other.
What's the question?
Dating. The question was to Veronica: was it her or somebody else on the panel? Say that when you date, it's most likely I date one person at a time. I don't date numerous persons. That's what I was asking. That's it.
I mean, well, for me, I prefer to date just one person at a time because I'm trying to figure out, okay, do I want to be with this person? Like if I'm dating Tyrone, if I'm dating John, if I'm dating Tim, if I'm dating like all of these, I can't keep up. Like I don't see how y'all do it. When I say y'all, I'm talking
All
about
right, well, I
men.
get what you're saying.
Like I can't keep up with that many people. Like, okay, I'm going out with Tim Friday. Come Tuesday, now I'm going out with whoever.
See, I can do that, but I can't sleep with a bunch
There
of
you
people.
go.
I'm a
I-
one woman person on that now.
But see, my thing
I
is,
can-
I
There
be
you
trying
go,
to,
E.
I be
Yeah.
trying to focus on just, this one.
Well,
And
let me-
that's-
Remember,
Can I
men
ask
and women
y'all-
are different. We can hit it and keep it moving.
No,
See,
And
I
I
ain't
respect,
about
and I
that.
respect y'all. Again, I'm not
can't do
telling
that.
y'all to be us, but that's what I'm always trying to tell y'all. That when we have these conversations, we are human beings and respect.
Mhm.
But a lot of times we talk to each other like we're the same, and we're not made up the same. Our hormones are not the same, and we're not the same. Now y'all can disagree, agree to disagree, but we're not the same. And how our outlook on life and how we feel on things is different than y'all, and that's the
I
reality
agree.
to it.
A question I wanted to ask, I think Tyrone brought it up to kind of take it in a different direction. Dating these days
It's different.
is different. It's hookup culture. And I wanted to ask about that. And I think it's more generational.
Mm.
I just learned something the other day. One of my little nieces was telling me about something called instant dating.
Insta dating. Insta dating.
See, you see how that wouldn't even work for me to start with. And so, for those who don't know, and y'all help me fill in the gaps, right? It's Insta dating.
Insta.
Okay, Vic, you
INSTA.
describe it
I-
because I don't want to.
No. I want to hear that definition.
Okay, so what I was told it is let's say you hit me up. We've never met,
Mhm.
right? You hit me up in my inbox or DMs or whatever, and you say meet me at Starbucks. Okay, I come to Starbucks, and essentially, all you're doing is looking at me and deciding if you want to call me later. But we never sit at the table and talk. We never formally introduce each other.
Just trying to scope you out.
Right. I'm like, who the hell got time for that?
No.
But this is what they're doing.
See, all this foolery. I just can't. That's why it's so hard. It's difficult dating in 2024 because it's just so much out there. It's like, what are we doing? We playing games with one another for one. Like, just be upfront with what you want.
That was a
like,
question that came up last night.
That's
That they
crazy.
say, are you trying to date a 2024 woman like it's a woman from the 90s? That's how the
What
question
does
kind of
that
came in.
mean?
Well, basically, in the sense of the cultures have changed. The cultures have changed, and how lifestyle, what you just talked about, this insta dating, what you just gave that example. And I listened to some of the folks talk, and one of the young ladies said, well, us women today in 2024 is not taking what some of the women in the 90s was taking. So I know I'm older than what this sister's saying. And I was like, sis, the women in the 90s wasn't taking shit neither. I don't know
I
what
was
you're
trying to
talking
say,
about. What are you talking about? That's what I'm
think we
saying.
were getting
A
a little
lot of
bit better
people
than what
don't
they getting.
understand, because, and I'm not calling nobody ignorant, and we talked about that word, but when you lack knowledge of something, I lived through that. And we were talking about the love language. We were talking about the atmosphere. We had more love music. We had more love culture not the best love culture. You had more love culture in the 70s, in the 80s than in the 90s, but you still had love music on the radio. You had more of that. Now everything is so rapid. Social media, we don't hear
Very
love. We
fast.
don't hear
Like people don't have
promote.
time
So
to know one
so
another.
right.
They
So to break
don't.
down,
Love,
so
love music is still getting made. It's just not promoted.
well it's
Well,
not permeating the
and this is a
atmosphere.
culture of love bombing.
That's correct.
And it goes real fast and real heavy and real
Yeah.
intense.
Mhm.
And I don't understand the concept of I'm in love with somebody that I just only have been knowing for 2 weeks, but they got love bomb and they couldn't see through the fog. Like, sis, what you doing? You don't know him like that.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Go ahead.
I mean, but that's the thing. Like we get so caught up in that moment.
Yeah.
We get caught up in the moment, and then the next thing you know, it's like, yeah, I'm really feeling him. Oh, I think I'm in love.
And like, tell me
Not
again when you
taking the
met.
So
Okay.
I wanted to touch on something that you said about 45 minutes ago.
Oh Lord Jesus.
And it's been permeating in my mind. You talked about if my love language is physical touch and yours is not, and I came to you, you talked about being disrespectful or it not being disrespectful. But understand, I can only speak for myself. Rejection is disrespectful. So if I feel rejected by you, by me showing you this is what I need, and you're like, and this is at your bottom, that's why I ask you about can quality time, if that's high for me and low for somebody else, to me that's an act of disrespect. I would take it that way.
I would say it's incompatibility. Right.
And I get it.
Incompatibility is not disrespectful. You get what I'm saying?
But that's what I'm saying. I would perceive you not wanting to spend time with me is rejection. And rejection would turn into, like you said, resentment to you being disrespectful. It's like, that's what it would turn into with me.
But you know why?
Why is that?
Because you're personalizing it about you as
Exactly.
opposed to getting to know what is that person's reason for not being touchy-feely. Again, that person could be bringing in some trauma. That person could be just no trauma, nothing bad happened to them, but they were brought up where we don't touch and feel. Like some people don't like PDA. Now, I'm a PDA girl, right? But some people don't like that because they were brought up, you don't touch in public, right? And so if that is something that is important to you, you're personalizing that person, not giving it to you. You're making it about you when it's really about them. And that's where I would encourage that, that's where you all go into talking and maybe even into counseling or therapy. And there is nothing wrong with counseling. There is absolutely nothing wrong with counseling. I think most relationships should have some level of it as a tune-up. If you go before there's a problem, you won't need to go when there is one. Because again, think about it from this standpoint. Counseling is not the therapist telling y'all what to do. The therapist is helping you all figure out where's the roadblock and how do we work through it.
Develop the tools to deal with that. Develop the tools with it.
So I get what you're saying. So if we're incompatible, we shouldn't have to try to be together. And that's my deal. And I agree with you when it's easy to leave. It is easy to leave.
Do we recognize? Do we see? Here's the thing, though. Let's go back to being humans.
Okay.
Let's go back to what you said. You receiving what this person is doing or not doing for you as disrespect, right?
Yeah, it would turn into it. Yes,
We
yes.
never get to the part of it's just incompatibility. We get to, he was a this, she was a that, right? When it's really, you know what, Vic a good dude. I ain't got time for all that touchy-feely, right?
Yep.
It becomes something else. If we can get to identifying it as incompatibility and there's nothing wrong with that person, then it's okay.
So like what you're saying is I agree with what you're saying, but if we're incompatible, you shouldn't have to change in order to suit me and vice versa. I shouldn't, loving you and you loving me shouldn't have to feel forced. So if physical touch is not your love language and it's mine, you shouldn't say, "Well, shit, I got to go over here and hug his damn ass."
But you said two different things though.
What was I saying?
You said feeling forced
Oh
and
yeah.
changing. Those are two totally different things, right? I go back to what I was saying to him. Nobody is 100%. So we are going to have to make some changes and adjustments. You shouldn't have to change who you fundamentally are, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say from this standpoint, let's just keep it on the person that was taught you don't touch,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they didn't see their parents hugging and kissing, right? They were, so they haven't been taught. But maybe through great conversation and doing the work. Now I sound like Ayana, but doing the work, right? Y'all getting to know each other. You teach that person, not just I'm changing for Vic, but you're teaching this person how they can touch someone to show love and it not be of a sexual nature. And it's not a bad thing.
Well, see that, in my opinion, that's where boundaries have to come in to play because I'm one of these people. The whole PDA thing, that ain't my thing. I don't like it.
Really?
I don't. I like
But
in
you
public.
like physical touch. Okay.
I don't. We talking about
I can see that.
publicly. Like
You can't be my boyfriend now. Because I like to touch in public.
Well, then that's where we're gonna have to have boundaries. We could touch in public, but we can go back here. I mean, it doesn't. My thing
So
is,
you want to be a freak in the sheets.
not. It's not even about.
You want to go slip in the bathroom and get free.
No.
Don't
No.
have sex in the mornings.
No. So I think when we talking about where we can meet in the middle,
Mm-hmm.
we can hold hands, but it might not have to be at the Million Man March. You know what I'm saying? We might could be sitting at church or something, and I, maybe put my hand on your knee, something like that. But to sit here and you plant one on me on aisle 3, I'd probably push you down. Be like,
But
what are
okay,
you
but
doing?
notice what you said. You said you you ain't gonna stop none of this, right?
Nope.
You just gonna sit there and read the comments. But okay, notice how you did say for the right person, you would be willing to establish some boundaries, which really you're saying compromise. And that's what a good relationship becomes, a healthy relationship becomes. You went from nope, don't even walk beside me, to where okay, I'll hold your hand, but we're not gonna kiss in public, right?
Mhm.
And that can be a great compromise between you and your partner, but it goes back to that point of having healthy dialogue, being willing to have those conversations, understanding why the other person wants that or does not want that, and how the two of you can meet in the middle, and being willing to do that without looking at the other person as a bad person. You may not like PDA and you're uncomfortable with it just simply because of how you were brought up. And then at the same time, you may not have not had a person that made you feel comfortable with PDA, that comfortable enough to want to invest your PDA energy in. And that's okay too. And then you meet the right person, i.e. me, and then I'll show you, and then you're good.
Yeah. So now I'll jump in because the reason why, because Victor was very patient and Veronica, while we did a lot of talking, so it's only fair.
Yeah, we
But-
still ain't, and he's about to
Yeah,
take over
yeah,
again.
yeah. But E.G., you're right, because at 19 when I was in college, my college girlfriend loved the PDA and I didn't. But because of being in relationships and then being in a long-term relationship, you learn and you grow. It's, to me, I mean, again, my way is not the best way. That's why I said I listen and learn from Victor. My experiences and his experiences may be totally different. So he may not have experienced some of these things, but I did, like how you feel, I felt like that at 19. But at 24, I was not that same person. And I think through my experiences, through life and in love and these kind of things, I found out more of who I was. And also what you just said was so important and powerful is who my partner was. That made it not only more comfortable, it inspired me and motivated me to do more. It made me to do things that I didn't even see in myself. That's why I'm saying it takes time for not only to understand your partner and this person. Next thing I want to say is about what you talked about counseling. I know a lot of men is not about counseling, but I remember being on the PTA with my kids, and we invited a person that dealt with conflict resolution.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, if we more had conflict resolution in our life, we would be better. And what you said, if you go to counseling beforehand, you will have the tools necessary to deal with if a problem does occur. You'll have the tools there. That's conflict resolution. That's what I'm saying. We got to learn certain things that we put up barriers for. We build barriers because, oh, we don't do this and we don't do that. But we got to realize, get away from the titles and look at it from a more constructional way, that how we can all benefit from it.
Absolutely. I agree on that.
I got a bell from the
Oh,
coach.
you can't reach over here and ring my bell?
She gonna ring your bell, all right.
So, Devia, my neighbor, it becomes disrespectful after you both have the conversation, therapy, etc., about love language, and the other one continues to deny your desires. Love me enough to love me the way I need to be loved, or love me enough to let me go.
I can agree with that.
I had somebody tell me they love me enough to leave me alone. That was crazy. So, go ahead.
Yep, Mr. Sammy.
Mr. Sammy wants to know, he asked you a question, Coach. What do you think about all these dating sites?
I started to get on Facebook dating page.
Hey, listen. Let me tell you something. What's the one? I went on one.
It's miserable.
I just playing.
What's the one? eHarmony. Cuz, this was about 10 years ago. You fucking on eHarmony now.
What?
Okay.
You know what? Answer the oh, come on, EJ. Coach,
You
answer.
want me to answer the question?
Oh, Lord.
Okay. So this is what
Getting a little hot there, okay? You getting a little hot?
Don't worry about her getting hot now. I can cool off.
Yeah, if you turn her off, that's what you can do.
Oh, that's a
the
lot.
dating sites. I
Black and white. We supposed.
I love a chocolate brother now.
What I'm saying, your last
Love a
name
chocolate
Black,
brother now.
my last name White. We supposed to be together.
Okay. All right.
I just realized
Anyway.
that, but go ahead.
Okay, baby. So
See that? You hear that?
I have a mixed review of the dating sites. I think the ones that you really pay for are the better ones. I think you still have to use common sense. I think it's some trash and garbage bullshit out there on them. Yeah, that's all.
I don't know. I'm just scared. I'm nervous when it comes to that. Like, I'm not trying to get on a dating site.
Where it was 15, 20 years ago when they were rolled out, they're not there now.
No.
Again, you know,
They're not.
there's premium ones. One that I pay for, let's do lunch. It ain't for the cheap. Like, that's mortgage payment level,
Oh.
right? Talkify is another one. Where they're more or less matchmaking. And then you do have the free ones like the Facebook or whatever, and it's hit or miss. Now I have tons of friends who have found their hookups, their great loves on the dating sites. They have evolved. I think more, and I hate to be generational because I try to stay out of it, but I think more for, and this is only from a woman's perspective. The men may feel this way too, but for women 45 plus, that's my age group, right? Mm-hmm. Dating in general has just become a hodgepodge of mess. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not pee in the dating pool. It's point blank shit.
Yeah.
And the problem is if you're, you know, either it's a younger guy that's trying to holler at you because he has some cougar fantasy, baby. I don't have snacks and I don't have PlayStation. My
I'm
kid
about to go that route though.
I'm not. I ain't got the patience for it. Or it's someone in your quote unquote age group or older and they want a damn hospice wife, a before I die companion. That's what me and Pat Adam call it, a before I die companion. Sir, I'm in my prime. I'm vibrant. I'm living. I'm not trying to discuss funeral plans with you. No, I'm not going to be the one to pat your back because you choking in the middle of the night. Your ass better get a CPAP. But that's what they looking for. And they don't understand. They don't understand, especially men of a certain age on the older side, they don't understand if you're not ready to get married. If you're not looking for your next husband, it's like, oh, you just want a boyfriend forever. Well, no, I'm not saying that, but I'm not signing up for marriage. And, you know, that's what I got to be putting in applications for you to take me to damn Applebee's. Is this what we're doing? So, dating in general for women that's 45 plus is garbage. That's all I'm gonna say.
So I feel like, as a man, that dates in that age range, maybe a little higher.
You want PlayStation snacks, or do you want? We talking funeral plans? Which one we doing?
I want the funeral plans woman. I do. I like them. I like them older. I really do.
Yeah.
For a reason. I feel like the conversation is different, but in this dating pool now, like even for the men, is shit because I already know going into as a man that's never been married, you know, going into the dating pool, it's just some shit I got to deal with. I understand you may have a compulsive or obsessive baby daddy that may want to keep tabs on you and whoever, and I understand that.
If that's the case, then they're not finished with their baby daddy.
Some are and some aren't, but there's exceptions to every rule. And I also understand that you're going to bring children, extra kids that, other than mine, here. And it's very hard to try to find someone who either doesn't have any kids or their kids is that much older that they ain't really around and shit like that. So, it is a bit difficult for the men as well because we do have these precursors that we have to have in order to even be out there to start with.
I agree.
But I ain't gonna go to, but I'm gonna just leave that alone right now.
Well, the one thing I will disagree with you on, and I'm gonna stand on this, and ladies, y'all can be mad. If her baby daddy is still tagging in, they're not finished. It can be 2 years since they last knocked boots, but if he's still tagging in, if he still got a hold on her, that's because she letting him. Yeah. They're not finished. Take it from a woman's perspective.
Yeah.
They're not. He's doing it because she's allowing it. I'm just being real with you.
And I trust me, I get it. I totally get what you're saying. That hole may be whatever that hole may be, whether you're holding the kids back or you trying to do this or you trying to get his attention. I get what that hole is.
Veronica, let me ask you a question real quick. So I had a guy that was trying to date me, and I was not interested because he had younger children. He had two. It was only two, but they were all under the age. I think one was 10 and one was 8, and I couldn't do it. And he said I was selfish. Okay, be selfish. But my point was, and you tell me what you think about it. My kid now is 18. I think Taryn was like 16 or 17 then. My days of sitting at football practice are done, right? Mm-hmm. My days of having to sit and do homework are done. I'm not knocking you from wanting to be a good dad. I want you to be a good dad. Yeah. I'm just letting you know I'm not going to be the kind of partner that can work with you. Because if you have kids that young, that also means you have shared custody in some way. So our weekends together, right, are going to involve children.
You're not talking in the mic.
Oh, I'm not talking in the mic. Okay. Our weekends together may have to involve your children, and if I've already gone through those stages, I'm not necessarily interested in taking that level of responsibility on. Also, I can't say that I may be as patient, when you say, well, maybe every third. Mm-hmm. She's good. My big mouth ain't no way y'all cannot hear.
No,
me.
you're good. You're good. You're good. You're good
now.
It was
like an echo.
No, you're good. It's fine.
But tell me your thoughts.
I kind of feel you on that.
Can't hear you.
No,
everything just went
down. Go ahead. He just turned the headphones down.
I kind of feel you on that as far as
Go ahead.
Okay. So I kind of feel what you're saying, EG, on that because, like our kids are about the same age. Mm-hmm. My son, he's 19.
Thank you.
So really, like, starting over.
Yeah.
Much is like getting with someone that's still, like, I feel like I'm extra loud now.
Now he's too loud.
It seems like we'll be starting over,
right.
like, okay, so now we got, because I'm gonna say we, because when you get involved with someone, the kids are
part
a
of the
part of your life.
package,
Yeah, they're
right.
part of the package as well. So that means, okay, if you know, he asked for us to go. Well, my son or my daughter is having something at the school. Want you to come. But at the same time, it depends on how I'm feeling that person.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, that's
How
true
come?
too. I
How
didn't really
come?
like the person, so it was easy to say.
Yeah. So it depends
It
on
was
how.
easy to blame the kids.
Right. So it depends on how well we're rocking, how I'm feeling you, because I mean, the kids weren't asked to be brought into this world, and if they have a good dad who I want to get to know, I don't see a problem with doing that. But am I looking for someone who has a younger? No. But if it happens, depends on how I'm feeling them.
I said this last week. I think I said it last week to Veronica and Victor, and I'll present it to you too, Sister E.G. When you talked about that dating pool and that age range, one of the things that I tend to find out, I mean, I notice a lot for me, is I'm a very nice, they say flirtatious guy. Yeah, I can deal with that, but I'm always respectful
Hmm.
with what I'm saying. But I noticed that with some of the older women, not old, I'll say the older women, um, if it's just to say, hey, let's go out to the movie, let's just go out to dinner, it's just like it's not about 10 questions, but what does he want? Does he this? Is that? It seems like sometimes, not with everybody, a
Hmm.
lot comes with that. And I mentioned to them that I ran into somebody that was younger, that
Hmm.
was younger, that I didn't think at their age, they would be able to act and respond in the mature manner that they did. I'm not trying to date them because the age difference. But what I'm saying is when I say, oh, you want to, I was saying about going to the movies. Oh, I'll go with you to the movie. Or you want to go out to get something to eat? Yeah. And we did. And there was nothing like she's trying to get my money or a dating. It's just communicating. And it was so refreshing to deal with somebody that just dealt with what was presented and no extra with it. And I noticed that with some of the older women that there's the extra
Do
with it.
you
What do you think?
understand the why?
Hmm?
Do you understand the why?
Well, with the younger person?
No, with my age group, damn it.
Well,
Get him,
of course.
coach.
Well, I do under. That's what.
With Gen X.
Hey, well, I do understand the why, and that's why some of us
Okay,
don't
so
want to
what is the
deal
why?
with it
What is the why?
because of some of the. I hate to use the word baggage, but because some of the experiences or the negative experiences.
It's not so much as baggage.
That's why I said I changed the word.
It's not even experiences. It is conditioning and training, how we were brought up.
Mhm.
So you also, I will say a piece of it is baggage, but it is more so a huge part of my generation. I always say we were the most liberated generation, but we still had some of the heaviest chains, right? So we took the chains and said, no, we don't have to get married if we don't want to, and we don't have to do it right out of college or high school. We can wait and all of that. But at the same time, we still carry some of the conditioning of you need to act this way, you need to conduct yourself this way. And so it is hard to believe sometimes when a man is approaching us that he doesn't have some ulterior motive. Also, you have to remember Gen X, right? So that's basically 1968 forward, right? That means I'll just say it, we're all 50 plus for the most part, 48, 50 plus, right?
Mhm.
If I meet a man, if I met you and you coming at me, my first thing is you got to be booed up. Like,
So
is
But
there a
what,
woman on
is
the
it
other?
a
So that's
problem?
why we're doing our research, we're doing our investigation, we're asking the questions because
You're supposed to.
at your age, the assumption is you have someone. We don't have a whole pool of single men that's readily available.
Right.
Let's just be real. Doesn't matter the demographic, doesn't matter the
But who
age.
does that create a problem for? Does
It
that?
creates the problem for us.
There you go.
It creates the problem
Yes.
for us.
Yes.
But to that point, the same woman that gave you the hard time, like, what you want to go to? What you mean? that same woman has probably let her guard down one too many times and ended up with a bozo that had a wife and some kids at home and a whole other sister wife over here somewhere.
And I understand the why,
So-
but that's why I said it was more refreshing with the younger person because of that. They haven't experienced that.
The younger person waiting to be married off. Just
So
so you know.
I want to say this. I always felt like it was easier to date an older woman for the reason that you're saying. If I'm coming over there and I look a certain type of way, she's gonna tell me, "What the hell you coming over here for?" And you booed up. So now with that bit of information, I need to not look booed up or whatever that look like. Or if you're beautiful enough for me to prove it to you, then I may or may not prove it to you. That younger woman, they gonna date them all. So I'm not even entertaining the
And
younger
you
women
should.
because for that reason there. But the older woman's gonna give it to you. I mean, cause she ain't got shit to lose. She gonna be like, "The fuck you coming over here for?" Oh, well, I
we
guess
gonna ask the question.
Exactly.
We gonna ask the question.
And
We
I
gonna ask,
appreciate your
How
honesty.
old is your baby?
Exactly.
Oh, okay. And when the last time you seen the baby mama?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
And that's and I
And you're
appreciate
not married. Why? Oh, yeah. We
and
gonna
I appreciate that because that further gives me the tools to talk to the next one. And I ain't trying to be funny, but
No, I get what
but
you're
when you
saying.
get some rejection in that lane, prepares me for those questions. Because when I jump back out there was a lot of things I wasn't prepared to be asked.
Such as.
Why did y'all break up?
Oh yeah.
You know, that was one thing. What did you do? And no matter what I said, I started listening to my answers, and I always did that with them other fingers pointing back at me. So I started telling exactly what I did. So when they said, why did y'all break up? I was this. And I try not to bring that person into the conversation because then I sound like a, you know what I'm saying, a bitter bitch. I do.
Yeah.
I would. So I applaud my flaws, and I applaud the women that pointed out my flaws to make me better for the next woman I
There
reckon.
you go.
I feel like anyone that's coming from out of
She
I'm
just
sorry.
touched me.
oh
Don't touch him no more.
Jesus. I feel like anyone that's going in a relationship and they get asked the question, okay, well, what happened to your previous relationship or whatever? I feel like if they put all the blame on their ex, something ain't right.
You right.
Because your ex did not do 100% of
The
they're-
problem.
Yeah, they're not 100% of the problem.
Absolutely.
we all have done something
you,
in
Veronica.
past relationships.
Exactly. And I told
it to
EG
not
that
work.
earlier, that when I broke up out of my first marriage, it wasn't about what was done wrong on that end, but what I said about her still being in love, it was still looking in the mirror to see what I can do to become a better person. And that's why I said I didn't rush into a relationship. Just like it's just been a year, April 6th, with my wife passing. There's no way that I was jumping into another relationship. You understand what I'm saying? That didn't mean I didn't want to scratch that itch or whatever, but I know what I want, and I was straightforward with anybody I dealt with, and that's what I call respect.
So
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
I've met, and it's just maybe a touchy subject, but when I hear women say they was in a domestic abuse relationship, I ask, well, what did you do? I honestly ask that question. Well, what happened? When I say,
When you say what did you do, what do you mean?
but what did you do? So, in my opinion,
What did you do to leave, or what did you do to cause it? What did you do to
Both.
be apart?
both. And the reason I know you're gonna look at it like that right there, but being brought up in a home that it was full of, there were actions that led to that. Now I'm never gonna say that someone deserves to get hit because that is you don't hit what you love. I really believe that. I don't spank my children for that reason. You don't hit what you love. But this guy right here, whatever he did to physically abuse you, something transpired that you ran past all these red flags, the jumping at you and the playing around. You don't play like that with
So
people.
let me ask you this. Are you trying to ascertain as to whether or not it was mutual combat
No,
situation?
I want to know what got this guy so mad that his only option was to put his hands on you.
Okay.
Now, when I say that, I didn't do nothing, and then I start listening. to you doing, they do a bunch of this. Was you in that man's face? Was that man trying to walk off? What happened? Oh, you broke. I'm never going to excuse the act of the violence, but all I want to know is what led up to that.
What was your part in it?
Exactly.
What is a better way to ask that question without
it's,
without making the person feel like you're accusing them or blaming
I
them?
have no idea.
want
I
you to
don't
work on
know.
that. That's
But how can I
That's your
how can I how can I accurately know if I don't?
we born.
How about not even talk about that?
No,
To
it's
an abusive person.
you have
Well,
to.
it's worth the conversation. He should have the
That's kinda-
conversation.
No, you have to. You have to because
But to come out and ask them what did they do?
yeah,
Like,
exactly. I
there-
want to know what happened. If you
But what happened is not what did you do, and what I get what you're, though I disagree with it. I get why you're asking. I get what you're asking. What I'm saying to you is actually to get a better understanding, because you're not getting the answers that you want, right? Just like you said, I sit back and I watch. She said she did nothing, and then I sit back and watch, and I say, okay, this is what happened. To get a better, fuller understanding, if you work on your language of what you're asking, you can get from her the answers that you need, not want, that you need to hear.
Okay.
But if you come at her as if you're blaming her, yeah, my first defense is going to be a wall. I ain't do nothing because I didn't. Because in the end, it does not matter. Let me say this: I don't condone. I only have one child. He is a son. Okay, so I don't condone men beating on women. But I will quickly say, heifer, don't put your hands in my son's face. I'm quick with that one.
'Cause I tell my daughters that. I
Listen,
tell my
I had
daughters
this-
that. Don't put your hand in a man's face because he has a right to respond.
Right, and I had this conversation right after a show. We had a show about this, and I was so against, of what y'all was saying about don't put your hand on the man, and he won't. And Victor was like, punch in her face.
I damn sure
I had a
will.
problem
Walk
with
the
that
damn dog.
until it happened to my son,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, now I get
See?
what y'all was saying. I even called Victor, and I even talked to Victor about that. That I think it was that next day after the show.
It was.
It happened, and I was like, now I get what y'all was saying,
There you go.
because I was pissed,
You can only walk off for so much.
and he was walking away
Yep.
like, how kids they take the phones out. Even grown people now, we take the phones out. We start recording instead of trying to break it up. So it was right in my face, my son, and I teach my son, don't put your hands on a female.
Right.
And he walked away like 3 or 4 times, and she continually walked behind him.
I had one that texted Taryn and said, because he wasn't answering his phone or something, I had to call her. We not fixing text on this, ma'am. No, I FaceTimed her on his phone. You not answering the GD phone. I'm trying to call you, blah, blah, blah. I will come and knock on your mama door and cuss you and her out. Heifer, no, you won't. No, you. And I FaceTimed her. She thought it was going to be him. She saw it was me. Oh, ma'am, who door you fixing to knock on? This Terrence mom. Who door you going to knock on? I'm right here. You got Aaron opportunity. I am the one.
These kids are
The 2
bold.
and the 3.
Well, we had one that my daughter's friend came to fight my daughter and fought in the house. But my wife came downstairs, and that was it. That was her baby. That's her cub. Oh, well, they start whipping ass.
wanna
You
get
understand what I'm saying? They start
Davita,
whipping ass.
what you at?
Yes. So Devere.
This one right here.
One right there.
You go, girl.
Yeah, the long one. So Devere says, get this, my 18-year-old hangs out with, since we talking about our children, my 18-year-old hangs out with her female friend's boyfriend regularly without the girlfriend. They call it friends group because everyone in the group are friends. The girlfriend is not jealous or whatever. For a long time, I thought this was really weird, but now I understand that it's just different. Have you guys noticed this with your children of the same age? Now, I can say this, Devere. Now, this happened to me, and this has been years ago, and I like me and my cousin and I, we are good, but it put a gap between our relationship that we had. Like our relationship was so strong, but it was this guy who she was dating, but at the same time, I actually went out. We went out to eat on lunch together.
Oh shit.
her, myself, and him, we went out multiple times for lunch or whatever to eat. And that particular time, he wanted to talk about her one-on-one with me.
Yeah.
So, but I did reach out to her before we went out. And she was like, no, it's no problem with me. She said that, but it really was a problem.
Damn right.
But I learned from that day, don't do that.
No.
Do not cross lines.
Here's what I would say, Davia. I know it can seem like it's a good thing, and I'm certainly not telling you what to do as a mom. Please do not take it that way. In the end, regardless of generation, we're still humans. I saw it happen in my son's friend group. He's only 18, so it sounds like my kid and your kid are in the same generation, right? It is that it'll start out as Vic and Veronica are friends, and then Veronica introduces Vic to one of her friends, and it's this friends group. But think about what happens in friends groups with just the same sex, right? Just all women. If it's 5 women hanging out together, they're friends, and 2 of them get into a fight or an argument or whatever, the friend group is expected to choose sides, right? We've all had that happen. Now add in a boyfriend-girlfriend situation.
Yeah.
Now add in a boyfriend-girlfriend situation. So now you have that dynamic, and it does get messy.
Very
It does.
much
So
so.
I would say, work with your son to make sure he understands how to respect boundaries and to see the heat coming more than anything. I had to work with Taryn on that. See the heat coming, know when somebody ain't feeling it the right way.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Very much so. I don't really have much to add. I mean, my kids are older than that, but they went through similar things back then like that. But I noticed that my daughters had a core group that was tighter than some of the extras that were around. You got that nucleus, and then you got that outer shell.
Right.
That core group, they were like this, and they stuck up, and they didn't let things penetrate. And if there was an issue, they talked about it. They looked out. They had their back, because somebody was about to jump my daughter in school. My daughter didn't call me because she know how I roll, but she called her girlfriend. Her girlfriend came, and you're right. And I just think that's great advice. But my kids are like 31 and 20. My daughter gonna kill me. 26.
You supposed to know that.
26.
But
28.
yeah, that's a
28,
that's
28,
a touchy
28.
thing. Like, I wouldn't do that again. Like,
Herman
that
said, do you understand men would love for women to serial date without the need of a relationship? Telling women to live their best, I can't see. I guess he's trying to, what I said, whole life
Where's this at?
is horrible advice for women
way up.
and is a blessing for men. No, it's not. Because first of all, I'm not telling them to screw everybody, Herman. Let's start there. What I'm telling them to do is to date, number one, to not get tied down, number two. It's a lot of men that want wives. I preach this all the time, young ladies. I ain't even talking to you, Herman. Now I'm acting like you. It's a lot of men that want wives, but they don't want to be husbands. And we as women, especially when we're younger, we get excited. Oh, he asked me to marry me. He asked me to marry him. He wants me to be his wife. But is he ready to be a husband? And so the advice I'm giving is not for them not to sleep around, whatever. If they want to, that's up to them. What I'm saying is, don't feel like you got to be committed to one guy. Date, have fun. Yeah. Live your life for you. Live your life for you, that when the right guy comes along, he is ready for you. Don't position yourself where you're out looking for a man. Herman reminds me of something my mama and grandma used to say all the dang on time. Every man wants a virgin, but he ain't trying to leave one for the next man.
Sure. Okay.
I used.
And all I'm saying to my girls out there, live your best whole life. HEAUX. Herman, I'm sorry, baby, you don't understand that.
Well, I'll tell you this. What you said. Just paint that picture for me. You understand that that's what I want, and I understand that that's probably not feasible. But just play into that character. If you had 65 partners, I like it. If you had 65 partners, make me think you only had 2 or
And
3.
that's part of it. Exactly.
Exactly.
Nobody should be bringing a body count. I don't want to know your body count. Why are we sharing that? Why
Well, I mean, sometimes it comes like when I say it comes up in conversation. Um, Sometimes we'll be in public. I should say something. I've been in public before with somebody, and they'll be like, "Oh, I know this person we used to date." You know, they might not say sleep with, and after about the fourth or fifth person, you like, "Well, damn," you know what I'm saying? And we still in the same place on the same damn day.
4 is like, for men, it's like, what? 4? But they can have 44.
they can have 10 baby mamas alone?
Come on.
That ain't a lot, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is we like sugarcoat this thing. You know, when we were younger, the body count thing was always opposite. You know, the man, the higher it was, the better, I would think, and the woman it was the lower. But now, you know, I don't want no virgin. I mean, I want some experience, but damn, I ain't want that shit whoa out.
Well, and the same thing with the woman. And that's the challenge with Herman's dissertation on the subject, because it's the old thinking that women are second tier or in the hierarchy of men. In other words, it's okay for you all to have a high body count, right? But a woman cannot. And if she does, right, then she has a label and she's
Society
available.
does. Society
Right,
frowns
but it's
on that.
it's
Yeah.
it's more or less an even playing ground now. And I think that is some of the challenge. But women do have choices. We do have options, and and when I say choices and options, I have the option to say, guess what? I don't want to be your wife. I don't want to be your wife, and I'm okay with that. And guess what? There's probably 10 dudes that want to date me, and I'm gonna tell you that.
But we had this discussion on another podcast this morning about gender roles and how gender roles have changed and why. And they brought up the
But
question
that's not
why.
gender
No,
roles.
no, 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 no. Wait,
Everybody
wait.
think
Hold
it
on, hold on.
is.
I know that right. Again, it's not gender roles, but we had a conversation about gender roles. The point I'm trying to get to is going back to looking at gender roles and how things have changed, Sister E.G. Today. It's one thing to talk to our young. It's one thing for us to talk about dating, but it's another thing to talk with our children if they don't have great examples. If they come out of a broken home, don't mean that the whoever raised them wasn't a good parent. That's not what I'm saying. But it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to see it. When I grew up, I'm older than everybody on this panel. So when I grew up, not only did I see it in my house, I saw it in my community, and I saw it on television. When I watched Good Times, I saw the father. When I watched television, I saw the father, the mother. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Now, when some of the younger folks, we're talking about us, but let's look at some of our kids and our younger folks, how they're looking at more ratchet television. A lot of coming from more broken homes where they may have both parents in their life, but their both parents are not living together. They co-parenting, this, that, and other. We talk to them how they should behave or how they should act, but sometimes we don't give them that physical example. How much does that play into them seeing and kind of walking in a more healthy relationship when they tend to get in them when they don't see it as much?
Well, let me say this. I disagree with the gender role. And I know you said my comment wasn't about gender roles, but even what you're saying is not so much about gender roles. I also disagree with coming from broken homes, because I think I grew up in the house up until I was about 12, 13 with both my mom and dad. That shit was not healthy, right? I think a lot of us grew up in quote unquote intact homes,
Yeah.
right? But they were broken.
They were. That's a
They
fact.
were broken. And the evidence is
Okay.
that is what you just described, that our kids are seeing and experiencing. Because guess what? We saw broke shit and we said we don't want that for our kids, but we didn't know the right way necessarily of how to do it. And so that's where you may see so many kids coming from single parent homes. However, I am going to give it to my generation and behind. I see a lot more involved fathers. I really do. I see a lot more attempts at co-parent. Do you have some of the baby mama ratchet, baby daddy ratchet mess? Yes, I hate to even say that. You do. And that's going to be with anything. But I have to say, in the last 20 years, you see more of a concerted effort by men and women, whether we're together or not, we're going to do right by these kids because we don't want them hurt and broken the way we were. It is not healthy. And yeah, you see,
I'm not seeing a lot of young people in healthy relationships
I
today.
don't know where you are, sir, because I'm seeing not.
Well,
and let
remember,
me
I'm
say
not.
this,
I'm
you
a
see
no.
how
I'm a.
we
I'm a.
creating
I'm.
healthy home with a healthy relationship. Let me say this again. I always tell my business, so be it. Part of the reason why I remarried the asshole was because he was a damn good daddy. He was a damn. He not was is. He is a damn good daddy. A damn. Let me be clear. A damn good father to my kid. And that clouded my judgment because he was that father. You know, if the school called your kid acting up, he would beat me at the school. He would leave his job site to get there. He would handle that. So I see a lot of really great dads doing good shit. And I personally don't equate an intact relationship with a healthy home because I grew up with it. I have friends that grew up with it where their parents were together and it was just
Okay, so now this is
We ain't
where
got no
I
much time.
wait,
We
wait,
ain't
wait.
got that much time.
I'm sorry, Victor. I'm
Y'all,
sorry.
we-
I don't give a damn sorry because she didn't answer my question.
What's your question?
My question was when. So I'll change it. The question is if they don't see a healthy home, you just made, and this is what happened where
Well,
we were talking about.
define a
So let's
healthy
just
home.
let's just deal with that. We don't have to give the scenario. We just know that they don't see a healthy relationship. Like you just said, some relationships where two people are broken. The question is, if they don't see that, how do they go on to have something that they don't see? That's my question.
But okay, the reason why I'll never be able to answer the question to your satisfaction is because you and I have two different definitions of a healthy home. To your point, our generation quote unquote grew up in a healthy home.
No, I'm not saying
but
that.
It wasn't healthy because we didn't beget that.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
To
What
me,
I'm saying,
a healthy home is where you learn to be a good person to the next.
I got
person.
that. I'm just saying
It
where
does
you
not mean
didn't.
you gotta have a two-parent.
I agree with that.
Even though I believe that's a great
But
option.
the question is, deal with whatever the unhealthy home was. If you came from that, how do you learn if you don't see? That's my question. I'm not comparing.
Because you learn from the people that parent you. Just because I came from an unhealthy home doesn't mean I don't have the ability or the capability to raise you up to be a great person and to seek out healthy relationships.
So, EG, I'm gonna tell you this. I appreciate you coming here today. We running really low on time.
I'm sorry, but y'all just had to tell me.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I do want you to answer a question though that was put in these comments right quick.
What's that? Which one?
And then I want to comment on voodoo because I don't know why y'all always take it there. Like someone can't like really care or be in love with someone without sex being involved. Anywho,
We can't.
question for EG. With all your knowledge, why are you single?
Where you see that at? Who wrote that?
Like a lot of us are knowledgeable and we're single. We're not getting ready to fall for any. EG, that question for you though.
What the hell does my knowledge have to do with equating to? I'm single by choice. I'm not sure. See, again, I don't subscribe to the mentality that because I'm a certain age, because I know a certain thing, because I've experienced a certain, that at this stage in my life, I should be married off or in a relationship. I'm single by choice. Could I be married if I wanted to be? I can. Could I be in a relationship if I wanted to be? I can. But right now, that's not necessarily what I want.
Right.
So I'm single by choice because there is no edict, there is no mandate, there is no law or stipulation that says because I know some stuff and I look a little cute and I cuss a little bit that I should be married off.
Right.
I don't know who asked that.
It
And
just
I just wish people would get off the like. Can people really care for one another without sex being priority? Like, and I know
Yeah, 'cause
voodoo. I
Fatigue
know
gonna
voodoo.
warmed up my hands and we ain't
Well,
had
I
well,
know
y'all,
voodoo probably
you
was.
keep that, you keep him warming up your hands.
I know voodoo probably was joking because
No, he wasn't.
voodoo, but he said
he
when
always
you
does.
said
That's
yeah, like
amen.
when you said about your T dad is a great dad, and that's the reason why you got back with him. But voodoo was like he probably has good D.
Good dick.
I mean, what does that have?
No, he
I
was
mean,
a good dad.
yeah, point blank. Period. That's why you went back with
Trash
him.
for a husband, but good dad.
I think that first question you asked was basically coming from a perspective of saying, sister, you have the tools. You have these tools, you have this knowledge, you have this experience. And you're giving this experience to a lot of people that are looking for it, that are single, that trying to get to the next level. That's why I think they asked you that question because they feel that you have those tools. You advise other people. You are that coach.
But
Why are you not walking in the
you
light
want
that you
others
I
to
don't.
talk?
I don't coach people to get married. I don't. I don't. I'm not advising people to
But
get married.
but
I'm
you're coaching them
advising
to have healthy
to
relationships.
have healthy
Relationships,
relationships,
right?
which
So
has nothing to do with marriage. I coach people. This is my mantra. I coach the best for greater.
Mm-hmm.
I work with you to be a better co-host to them, to have healthy relationships.
so do you have healthy relationships?
Most of them, yeah.
There you
There's
go.
one or
There you
two
go.
that don't sit right, but
There you
know,
go.
that's
Okay,
how
there
it
you
is.
go. That
Yeah.
I guess
You ask my son right now, he'll probably say no because he's mad at me. But no, I've learned how to have healthy relationships. Absolutely.
Voodoo said broke
Okay.
people can't teach people how to be rich.
That's why I ain't trying to teach you nothing.
And on that note,
Good night, y'all.
right, we are getting ready to get out of here. Thank y'all so much. We appreciate all of you for watching Tangy Tea of Life. Who are you tonight?
I'm assistant coach. I'm
Oh.
still assistant coach. I just wanted to say this, to all the loose women out there and the guys or whatever. After 8 inches, all is new coochie.
Loose women, this what you get. This what you get, loose women. You get groceries.
Everybody got to
I'm
eat.
not gonna use.
Cornstarch.
Brother Fatigue, thank you, WBLS radio station. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Victor, Victor. E.G., my sister, thank you so much for sitting in with us tonight. We appreciate you so much, as always. Thank you guys once again for hanging out with us here at the Tea each and every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. We appreciate each and every one of you. Hey, Patricia A. Maker, George.
That
am. So, yes, guys, every Tuesday, 8 p.m., right here, Tangy Tea of Life. We are live here on Facebook and also YouTube. We appreciate each and every one of you. If you would like to be a guest, if you have a topic suggestion, if you have an email letter, send it to tangyteaoflife@gmail.com. And we appreciate y'all. Have a great night. Enjoy your weekend. Be safe out there. Love up on one another. And be who you are. Be true to yourself. Be true to your partner. Stop living a lie. Cut us off.
Yeah, you said that. You said you didn't say
Out.
good night yet.
Good night.
There you go. Good show, team, and guests. Buenos